trying to keep up with the loop pedal.
Yes. Keep trying. I think it's about time we really tell the story behind the name of the Piano Guys. I think
that would be great.
Save some face, maybe explain a little background. Some of you have heard part of this story, maybe the whole story, I don't know, but I hope it merits a retelling for those of you who have not heard our story, or those of you who signed up for a piano-cello concert not expecting what just happened. We actually started as a little piano store in a tiny little town called St. George in southern Utah. Wow. Everybody from St. George is here with us tonight. Thank you. We love you. In this little store, Paul Anderson, the store owner, he woke up one day just tired, fatigued of selling his pianos the same way everybody else was selling them. Radio ads, billboard ads, newspaper, things like that. And he thought, I'm gonna put that all aside, I'm gonna risk it all instead and use social media and YouTube to sell pianos. Now, understanding today that's not a big deal at all, that's not novel, but back when he was thinking of this about 12 years ago, nobody was doing this. And around the time he was cogitating over this concept, Jon happened to waltz into his piano store because he had a gig in the area and needed a piano to practice on. So Paul said, oh yeah, Jon, come on into the piano store, practice any piano you like here. But while you're here, he says, could I film you playing on my store pianos? And I'll upload the videos that I filmed to this new YouTube channel I've created and called. That was a little late. Just kidding. Right, you're right. The Piano Guys, thus the genesis of the moniker, right? There it was, on a YouTube channel. And then he takes Jon by the shoulders and shakes him incessantly with this little twitch in his eye, and he says, and then Jon, we will sell tons of pianos. Jon catches this weird but infectious vision, and he pulls me in. As you know, we'd been playing together for some time even at that point, and I had just moved onto the same street as this incredible music producer, Al Vanderbeek. And all four of us had all the tools necessary to build this music video channel. Do a favor for Paul, help him sell some pianos on the side. But keep in mind, we were doing this for fun, had no idea it would go anywhere. Fast forward to about a year ago from today, all of a sudden, we had over 80 videos on YouTube with 2 billion views. We had 10 million followers, 10 albums with Sony, and we still hadn't sold a piano.
That's right. We all decided to change directions totally.
Yeah, the piano store is now closed.
To a partnership.
Yeah, I wanted to share that inspirational thought with you this evening. Yeah. But despite all that, his vision was indomitable. In the beginning, he wanted to take the cello and piano out of their concert hall context in which you see them, which you're used to seeing them, and put them in places you'd never expect to see them. To open your eyes anew to these instruments that have been around for hundreds of years. So we said, well, what do you mean, Paul? Do you remember this? What do you mean? He's like, well, okay, I want to stick a cello and a piano on a beach. Okay. And then I want to stick them on a speeding train. Okay. And then I want to put them on a 1,000-foot cliff. Okay. Yeah. Let's just start with your backyard and work our way up, Paul, okay? But I tell you, we teased him, but he wanted to go beyond that. He said, I want to play all 7 wonders of the world. But his vision ended up proving prophetic, because there we were not long ago, where our first wonder was the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, and to think that we laughed at Paul when we when he first tested it.
Thank you.
Right. And you would think that, the hardest part of getting permissions to play on the Great Wall of China, that would be nothing harder about it, but there was one harder thing, and that was trying to figure out what music was worthy of the Great Wall of China.
What do you play?
Yeah, we racked our brains for weeks, and it was getting close to the time that we had to head over. Still didn't know, so we got desperate and asked our kids to help us out. And that is where we got this great idea that resulted in us using the genius of Hans Zimmer and the genius of Frederick Chopin all combined into one. We actually used, and I know this sounds crazy, but we used a poignant moment from Kung Fu Panda. Hans Zimmer. And it features this instrument, this Chinese instrument called the erhu, which is like a Chinese fiddle or even cello, I would say.
Yeah, sure.
And we thought to ourselves, I'll bet Steve could figure out how to make his cello sound like an erhu. And we were right, Steve.
Maybe.
It's pretty amazing to see what Steve does with this. And that's what...
We picked the moment called Oogway Ascends. It's when Oogway dies and it tears your heart out. You know, he was the OG Ninja Turtle. And as John mentioned, we as the piano guys always combine what we're doing, whether it's stylistically or programmatically. We put classical music with everything we do. Why? Because we believe classical music is the ancestor of all the music we listen to today and should be respected and appreciated as such.